Oh,
How do you do?
Kachi. Finally, we're here.
I know we are.
Finding one's creative voice is a journey without a defined map, a timeless pursuit where the path is unique to each individual. Enter Láolu'S Sembanjo, known to many as Láolu NYC, born and raised in Nigeria, now based in Brooklyn, New York. Láolu is a true multidisciplinary artist. His creative expression spans across music, performing arts, visual art, human rights law, and activism. Through his intricate work, he has bridged cultures, blending traditional Nigerian influences with the vibrancy of urban life in New York. In this story, we delve into Láolu'S world, from his early life in Nigeria to his rise as an internationally recognized artist. We explore how he discovered art as a language to both express himself and advocate for change.
I would say my creative expression started out when I was a child, like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. At 6 years old, I knew I loved I loved marbles, I loved cracks in walls, I loved cartoons a lot. But I'm the type of child that would see patterns in walls, and I would, use pen to trace some of those things. It got me in trouble. Can you imagine growing up? It was my mom's like, Láolu, Láolu, because I crayon on the chairs, on the wall, the bathroom, But it's just like a way of existing, I would say, is like vision, how I saw the world. I didn't think it was unique because I felt everybody else could see that, some of the things I saw. But, the older I got, the more, the uniqueness is almost, deemed like, it's just drawing. It's just a kid who likes to draw. He'll focus, he'll change path, he'll get to do law. My dad was an attorney, so that was the path that was set out since I was a child, But my brother was supposed to be a doctor and the other one was supposed to be an engineer. So you know how it is in Nigerian households. Yeah, the real jobs, not art. What? Who does art?
In his early years, Láolu navigated the duality of his passions. While he pursued a law degree to meet societal expectations, art quietly simmered beneath the surface like a dormant volcano waiting to erupt.
I never really stopped making art. So I think I would say art kind of got me through law school, got me through undergrad, because the way I would, remember some of my case laws or, precedents was to sketch them in the notepads. I would draw like, the court, room. I would draw the judge looking funny. I would draw the defendants, plaintiffs, and bubbles, like in the case of this, that. I love doing that. My notes get passed around in class a lot. And sometimes we're just making fun of people just doing sketches in class. That kind of kid who continue. I would always was creating it, but it got me in trouble more than because I wasn't concentrating sometimes. After law school, I started work, and it was more like I loved the work, but then there was the part of me that was just calling, like the art. I would go to art shows and I would be like, I could be doing shows too. I would go to events and like, I could be doing this, but you're caught up in the hustle at the fab. So I think working at the National Human Rights Commission in Abuja actually opened up my eyes to just different things about life that I wasn't aware of. Like, for example, I worked with women and children. That was my bit in a National Human Rights Commission. I was the chief legal officer in charge of women and children. And I would go to some of these, places, Nasarawa and all the other environments, and our job was to, talk to, parents that had their kids out of school. and the kids went out to school. Some kids were selling on the roadside. Maybe some kids were, in some forced relationships that they were not supposed to be in, because child marriage is a child bride. It's a thing in the northern part of Nigeria under Sharia law. And we talk about Nigerian Constitution has ratified the Child Right Act, and children under certain ages could not, should be in school. And if they're not in school, there are ramifications. And it hit me, and I started thinking to myself that, Láolu'S, this has never been, like, as a boy, nobody ever said you can't go to school. This dichotomy of the life of a boy child and the girl child in that part of the world is so different. And that got me thinking, and just the injustices that plague my environment just by virtue of where a girl child was born and virtue of her financial circumstances could end up being a child bride versus a girl born elsewhere. And why should that be the situation just by virtue of happenstance? So I started painting. And my only way to, unleash and understand my world was through creativity, and I'll do a lot of work that has to be rights issues, some for fun, some just to get people talking. And yeah, that was my entry into art again.
When Láolu'S found his way back to art, he made a bold decision. Much like the elusive Banksy, who surprises the world with his street murals, Láolu'S made his statement by resigning from his law career, choosing instead to channel his activism through creativity.
Yeah, I think my Banksy was resigning, was leaving the job, because that was really, it didn't sit well with my family, it didn't sit well with friends, it didn't sit well with a lot of people. And one thing that, stood out to me was that I felt that I had more power using art than sitting behind a desk. And I felt like I was hosting a little bit of, art shows, by the way, on the side. I had a little mini gallery in Abuja that time in Nigeriki. I felt like I had so much to give when I spoke about art, when I would, just invite people in and just talk about the art. I went on vacation once outside of the country. I was opportunity to go to Germany. I also had a chance to go to South Africa to visit my friends. And had mini shows in bars, in restaurants, and I would engage people with my art.
Like with your art?
With my art, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like just hanging in like a restaurant, somebody at a cafe, I'll just put it up, and I put it up, and people stopped what they were doing to listen to what I was saying. I sold a piece like that once, and it just hit me that I didn't go to school for this. And I felt like I was really good at this. I felt like my art I could see the spark in people's eyes. I saw the connection people had with my art, and it was visceral. And I felt like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So I made my mind. I was like, either I was going to be an average lawyer or I was going to be a beast at art. So I chose the latter. I mean, for anyone, you can ask anybody close to me who's my friend who grew up with me, when they say, oh, Lau, they're like, oh, we knew that guy. They would tell you that he's always drawing. So that tells you everything you need to know. They're like, oh, he would draw in class, he would draw in the office, he would draw everywhere. So it's not like it's a shock to people who really know me. It's just like, it was just a matter of time, when I was going to do it or whether I was not going to take it up like a full profession. But I mean, I just thought to myself, why not, I've done what my parents wanted me to do. I'm like, great, this is a time to live for me now, and I want to do it on my own terms. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take a chance and take a bet on it, I mean, some things that happen, I'll be like, why didn't I even do it earlier? That's some of my, But then, you arrive when you arrive, There's that Igbo saying that when you wake up is your morning.
Exactly.
So, yeah, so, it's just interesting to see how things unfold when you just decide, like, okay, I'm going to take a bet on this. There are no guarantees at the end of the day, but it's a feeling that you just know deep down. It's not forced. It's very gentle. It's like, without this, would I be able to exist? The answer is yes or no. The answer is no. It's how I live. I've never felt more alive in my life doing this. it's how I connect with the world. And trust me, the journey and the different confirmations along the way has just proved it to me that, yeah, I'm on a path and it's unique, probably trailblazing, setting standards for people to come after, people like, oh, you did that, then I can do it too, examples,
Wow. You haven't actually played 4.
Never?
Ever.
Really?
I'm not even joking.
Wow.
Anyway, let's talk about this piece. There's a lot going on here.
Yes, there's a lot going on here. It's called flashpoints. And it's one of those pieces that actually, whenever you look at it, you see something new. It's a discussion piece. It's something that, you always want to, whenever you find something like, what does this mean? For example, when you look closely.
Stop looking into my uterus. That was a thing that all the women were
all
saying
women
at
talking
the time.
about. And you can see rights and body. And one thing I want to always talk about is like, why do people who don't have uteruses are deciding on people who have uteruses? Yeah. So that was happening, and then that was also, I remember the name of Deborah because I saw that on WhatsApp. My pop forwarded it to me, and it just broke my heart. The whole story broke my heart, and I just wanted to
girl that was killed.
Killed, yeah, in school. And you can see.
Say her name.
Death and set a place at the Sheo Shagari.
Yeah. Wow.
This education support. And you can see all the justices that came out in support. To support some of the people who carried out the dastardly acts. So I was like, we're all in the same boat. But humanity's boat leads us, to different things, different places, takes us to life again. What does life mean?
What does life mean?
Exactly. Where does life start?
At birth?
For some, it's the fetus.
Yeah.
For some, they feel like there should be control over who decides where life starts. Again, humanity. Vaginal cavity. Woman, man, heart.
So, again, we've only just talked about
just that mini part, yeah. So we could go on and on and on and on. Nothing is perfect, by the way. Like, I'm not this old, superhuman person. No, it's just somebody who takes it seriously. Like, I practice like I've never won anything. I decide, wake up, I get on my iPad at work, I still dream about concepts, I talk about ideas with anybody around me all the time. How can we make this better? What can we do with this design? What can we put this design on? Should we send a proposal here? Should we do this? Should we do that? Like, it's constant. There's no place where you would get there. So for me, working, designing, making art is a lifestyle. It's not like I think about the end result that, oh, then I'm going to get here, I'm going to make a lot of money. No, I focus on what is in front of me and get it done, like create it so well that it cannot be ignored.
Láolu'S sacred art of the Ori has adorned icons like Beyoncé, Serena Williams. His artistry reached new heights in 2016 when it was featured in Beyoncé's Grammy Award-winning visual album, Lemonade.
Without a gun to my head, here lies the mother of my children, both living and dead. Rest in peace, my true love, who I took for granted. Most bomb pussy, who because of me sleep evaded. Her shroud is loneliness. Her God was listening. Her heaven will be a love without betrayal.
Beyonce came to me. She saw it on the internet and she was like, damn, who is this guy? How can we get him? Send me an email. I asked to meet up with them. I wasn't even sure she was the one, to be honest, because I'm Nigerian. I see a lot of phony. Every day I'm like, damn, these guys are going to ask me to pay money somewhere. So I was waiting for the scam. So I was like, okay, cool. Beyonce, cool. Okay, cool. Send the email. I saw the email. They asked me to sign NDAs and all that. I was like, okay. So when do we meet? They said, oh, we have to fly you out to New Orleans. This is where the shoot is happening, everything. I was like, cool. sent me details, flight details. I saw the details. I saw the people on the ND. I saw the office. I saw everything. I saw a lot of people on there too that I knew, like celebrities and stuff. I was like, huh, this looks real. Legit,
You still haven't believed fully.
Yeah, I mean, there's this part of you is like, Beyonce, okay, cool. I mean, when you're just working and you don't, I wasn't planning that, and then I'm going to work with Beyonce. No, it just happened. You know what I'm saying? So all you need sometimes, like, I look at it sometimes like I was prepared for it. If I wasn't prepared for it, then it probably wouldn't happen. So I got there, I got the airport, somebody was waiting for me with the name, and then I got the hotel, and I saw a bunch of people carrying all my luggages inside. I just knew then, yeah, this is for real.
You didn't know it was real to you.
I would say I knew, but there's that doubt. You're Nigerian now. You're not so it be, not so just the behavior story. It's like you're just waiting. Maybe, it's trauma response too. For something just cut out, be like, psych,
That would have been disappointing though.
Yeah, but, I met her and it was a good exchange. It was like, I see you, I love you. Thank you for coming. I'm like, I'm just thanking you. Who I go thank now, But it was a beautiful exchange. She's so gracious, so hardworking. Oh my God, that woman, she's a beast. That's how I leave it at. She's a beast.
I ain't thinking about you. Looking at my watch, you should have been home. Today I regret the night I put that ring on.
Láolu'S Sembanjo's journey from law to art is a story of bold choices and boundless creativity. His sacred art of the Ori has touched global icons like Beyonce and become a powerful tool for activism. Through his art, Láolu'S reclaims identity and inspires others to find their voice. His canvas is the world, and his image is clear. Creativity knows no limits.
I would say don't think too much about the big picture. Just focus on what's in front of you. And a lot of young people, a lot of people who intern with me, they ask me this question: how did you know you were gonna do this? How did you know you were gonna do that? The honest truth, I didn't know. It just happened because there was a focus on what was in front of me. To fall in love with what is in front of you. Master it so well that you cannot be ignored. If you're waiting for an external validation, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. But you have to so much believe in yourself that it almost feels like a delusion sometimes. But you know what you know what you want, and you have to fall in love with that process yourself. Feel good yourself. No applause. Stick with it. Applause, don't let it get to your head, but just ground it. You perfect it so much, it shows. Everybody starts looking at you like you're some genius, but no, you just practice enough. You put in your 10,000 hours, 20,000, whatever you need to do. Just do the work. And when you start showing up in places, not everybody will like you, but they can't deny you. And that's your power.
Kachi Ofia, Arise News, New York.